right, so this message is about everybody who plays it safe out there, right? So my story I want to talk about is I want you to taking risks is very important. So I've been a radio personality for many decades. I worked in cities like Chicago, New York, Miami, Atlanta, Dallas, and I've had some pretty incredible moments. I had a nationally syndicated show, #1 ratings in multiple markets. But when I look back at this, I'm 56 years old now. One of my biggest lessons is this: playing it safe can kill your growth. So let me tell you a quick story. Back in the 90s, I was working at a station called WGCI in Chicago. And those were exciting times for me. I had a loyal following, but after 4 years, I wanted more. I wanted to connect with an older audience, a more mature demographic. So I had a chance to work in Los Angeles at 92.3 The Beat, the station was called. And the other one's at V103 Atlanta. Now, LA was very tempting to me. The program director told me that I'd be a perfect fit. I could get into TV, movies, everything. For a young guy like me, that sounded like a dream. But I chose Atlanta because my kid's mother moved there, and I wanted my sons to be closer to her. And it wasn't about me, it was about doing what I thought was right for my family. Although they're going to be raised in two different households. Now, Atlanta, I brought a whole new energy to the airwaves. I was edgy, I was bold, and maybe I was a little too much at times, and I pushed boundaries. And I had the highest ratings in that market, right? But my methods ruffled the feathers of the general manager and the program director. And they called me into the office one day, and they said to me, "You are more of a liability than an asset." That hurt. My ratings were sky high, but what I did on the air, they were just too unpredictable for the station. So they let me go. And playing it safe, it taught me something. I'm gonna get into that. So a week later, the station in Chicago called me back, and they called me for a job. But the program director said to me, he gave me a stern warning. He said, "You know that thing you did in Atlanta?" I said, yeah. He goes, "No, you can't do that here." He wanted me to follow the rules, and I did it. I worked in Miami, New York, and other markets. I even got to do voiceover work and became the voice of BET, Disney, ESPN. I was doing a lot of stuff because I had to play it safe. So when you play it too safe, like, you lose a piece of yourself, though. So I stopped taking risks. I stopped being bold. While I remained successful on paper, I knew I was holding myself back. I wasn't owning my personality. I was fitting into somebody else's mold. And that teaches me that taking chances, that's the right way. And here's the thing: growth happens when you take chances. But but you have to take smart chances, right? Back then, I didn't understand how to plan and execute my vision. I was reckless with my creativity. If someone called in with a wild story, I run it without fact checking. That's how I ended up, naming a car dealership in the story, and which turned out hearsay. What this lady said about the car dealership, turns out that car dealership was an advertiser on a radio station. The station was just tired of me doing this stuff without any strategy. Now, I encourage anybody on your own platforms, social media, YouTube, podcasts, don't be afraid to let people see the real you. I want you to take risks, but you got to plan them. Build a strategy around your vision. People want authenticity. They want to trust you. They want to trust the foundation of any platform. They want to trust you. And you have to think about the power of being seen. When you allow people to see the best version of who you are, you create connections. Those connections build trust, and that trust turns into a community. And let me tell you something: a strong community is where true success lies, whether it's financial stability, creative fulfillment, or just knowing you're making an impact in somebody's life. It all starts with being yourself. But here's the catch: people will criticize you. That's a guarantee. Especially if you're doing something great, right? People love to tear you down when they don't understand or what they wish they could achieve. They'll do that. Don't let it stop with you, though. The moment you stop believing in yourself is the moment that you will stop growing. And here's my final thought. Looking back, I'm very thankful for every lesson that I learned, whether it's being fired or being too bold or being told to play it safe. It all brought me here. My advice to you is this: don't play it safe. Don't be reckless either. Take chances, but be calculated. All right? Believe in your vision, plan and execute it, and most importantly, own it. Because when you own who you are, when you stop playing it safe, That's when the magic happens, right? That's when people begin to see you for who you truly are. And trust me, that's when the real success begins.